Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news we're following this morning: a stabbing and a shooting in Durham, where police blocked off part of a road with crime scene tape for hours this morning.
And we have another extremely hot day, another heat advisory in effect for our viewing area. I'll show you when we're going to break this hot pattern.
And you're looking live at Milwaukee, where day 2 of the Republican National Convention will get underway in just a few hours. What you can expect today and where the investigation into the assassination attempt on former President Trump stands this morning.
And your child may not be able to bring a phone to school in Wake County. The request a parent group plans to bring to the school board today. Glad you're part of our plans here on our Tuesday morning at 4:30. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. You'll probably want to plan to spend time indoors because once again, we have another hot day coming. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner to walk us through the heat alert. A lot of orange and pink there.
Yes, the pink is the excessive heat warning, and that's just outside of our viewing area. But for us, it's another heat advisory for today. It's going to feel like up to 110 this afternoon. We hit 101 yesterday. We're going to be close to that again today. We take a look at that heat index hour by hour. We're going to climb it up to 107 or 108 in the Triangle area. And to our south, it could be closer to 110. So just take it easy again. This is a live look at Apex this morning. It is 79 with a dew point of 72, so it feels just like it's felt, I mean, really, for weeks now. Just very warm and sticky as you head out the door. 76 Rocky Mount, 75 Clinton, 77 in Southern Pines. We do have a small chance for rain today. We saw a few isolated storms pop up yesterday. It's going to be just isolated again today. And hour by hour, we're going to likely hit that 100 mark again today. The record today is 101, so we may not quite get it, but we did break the record high for yesterday. We're going to talk more about our big pattern change coming in just a couple of days. Coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. We're following breaking news. A shooting and stabbing that happened after 2 o'clock in Durham. Officers shut down part of North Alston Avenue early this morning as they investigated. Nick Perlin is in the WRAL breaking news tracker at the police department. And Nick, the crime scene spanned a large area.
It did, Renee, and that crime scene was just taken down about 15 minutes ago. But I do want to get you to this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker, just so you can see for yourself that crime scene tape taping off a large portion of North Alston Avenue, right there off of Liberty Street. Now, you can see evidence markers there scattered throughout the road, as well as crime scene investigators taking pictures, trying to gather more information as to what happened early this morning. We do know Durham police are investigating a shooting and a stabbing, but at this point in time, we're still trying to learn how many people were involved in this crime, and of course, how many people were hurt. As more information becomes available, we'll be sure to update you. Live in Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Second day of the Republican National Convention will get underway today, and former GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley is expected to speak. For the first time since the assassination attempt, former President Donald Trump made a public appearance last night. You see the injured ear with the bandage on it. He was greeted with chants of fight from the crowd. Trump appeared alongside his new running mate J.D. Vance last night. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke earlier in the night, followed by Senator Tim Scott of Virginia and Virginia Governor Glenn Young. Now, Melania Trump did not attend yesterday's event, but is expected to be at the RNC later this week. Many more people will be speaking at the RNC over the next 2 days. You can find a full list of events on WRAL.com. And coming up in 10 minutes, we'll take a closer look at former President Trump's vice presidential pick in J.D. Vance.
Meanwhile, President Biden sat down with NBC's Lester Holt for a one-on-one interview.
Who do you listen to on deeply personal issues like the decisions whether to stay in the race or not?
Me. Look, I've been doing this a long time. The idea that I'm the old guy, I am. I'm old. But I'm only 3 years older than Trump, number one. And number two, my mental acuity's been pretty damn good. I've gotten more done than any president has in a long, long time in 3.5 years. Why didn't the press ever talk about it?
Biden's interview is the latest in a series of events, rallies, and interviews that he has done since his poor performance during his debate with Trump. When asked if Biden feels safe with the Secret Service, he said yes. More questions remain in the aftermath of the attempt on former President Trump's life. The FBI says technicians are working 24 hours a day on the shooter's cell phone and laptop. They gained access to Thomas Crooks' phone yesterday. Crooks' high school counselor told NBC he was, quote, flabbergasted that it was him. The counselor says Crooks was quiet, intelligent, and he never got a call from a teacher about behavior problems. Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, says he is calling for a full-scale investigation into the assassination attempt. Vance told that to Fox News last night.
Covering Wake County, your child may soon not be allowed to bring a cell phone into the classroom. A group of Raleigh leaders is pushing Wake County school officials to ban cell phones in schools. They believe the ban could help improve mental health issues, depression, even sleeping problems. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Wake County Schools headquarters in Cary. And Laura, school leaders are expected to vote on this today.
Hey, Jeff, good morning. Now, we know if you have an iPhone, you and your family, the chances are you may get these notifications letting you know how much screen time you spend a week. Well, parents are saying for children, the number is high, especially during school hours. They believe it's causing distractions. So members of this group, including former Raleigh Councilwoman Nicole Stewart, family doctors, and others, are expected to request a district-wide ban at today's meeting. The group is worried about mental health and academic issues stemming from mobile device use. Several counties in North Carolina have already done this, and feedback in those counties indicate students are paying more attention in class. Stewart says it's the constant attention and addiction they want to address.
Constant interruption is a huge part of it, right? Like, we're all addicted to our phones at this point. But children being interrupted in school ruins their attention. It brings down their grades. It interrupts the teachers who are trying to learn on a constant basis. We can get into the social media aspect part in terms of how our children's mental health is suffering, especially young girls.
So currently, Wake Schools lets individual schools determine cell phone policies and enforcement. Many schools ban them from being used in classroom, but that may differ from school to school. We know the school board meets this evening at 5:30, and the school board is not expected to take any action on this today. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Cary.
WRAL spoke with the Wake County mother who's facing child abuse charges after leaving her kids in a hot car. Sherry Price says she turned the car off but left the windows down while she let her 1-year-old and 6-year-old children sleep. She says this happened during a 15-minute stop at a TJ Maxx in Fuquay Varina. Police say they found her about 40 minutes after security cameras showed her entering the store. Price tells WRAL she believes the charges are unnecessary.
I just feel like the child abuse charge was over the top. Like, I don't feel like I could got child abuse because they make it seem like I'm harming my kids when they were unharmed. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Does she only have the 2 kids?
She has 3. The kids are okay, and she is keeping the children for now. A Duke emergency physician says kids are not as good at regulating their body temperatures as adults. He says your body can start shutting down if you overheat.
This morning, the State Board of Elections could decide the fate of 2 potential candidates for president. Cornel West and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. are asking to be on the ballot in North Carolina this year. The Elections Board has so far resisted them. That decision divided the board along political lines, with Republicans wanting them on the ballot, but the board's Democratic majority delaying the decision. Polls show Kennedy and West would cut into Biden's support if they are allowed on the ballot. The Elections Board is expected to vote this morning on whether to allow them.
Nearly 145,000 people in Texas are still without power more than a week after a barrel ripped through the state. The energy company in the city says 14,000 crew members are working 16-hour shifts to restore power for families across the area. Texas's Public Utilities Commission has initiated an investigation into the company's response. The governor threatened to issue an executive order to force the company to improve the reliability of its equipment.
Here's an important update, a reminder about a road closure tonight. Part of I-40 near US 70 in Wake County will be closed in both directions overnight. Crews are working on the bridge for the future NC 540. It closed last night at 10 o'clock, reopened it will at 5 o'clock this morning, and the same will happen again tonight.
NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Davis is speaking out after what he says was a traumatic experience on a United Airlines flight. What he says happened before the FBI handcuffed and escorted him off the plane.
Thousands are without power in parts of Iowa this morning after severe storms hit that state. We'll have a look at the damage.
And this is a live look at Goldsboro. We broke a heat record yesterday at RDU. We hit 101, and we could possibly break the record again today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us just how hot our temperatures will get today.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
4:43, here we go again. We have a heat advisory that goes into effect at noon for our entire viewing area. It's going to feel like up to 110 this afternoon. We hit 100 yesterday. That's our forecast again today. And this is our hour-by-hour heat index. Likely to feel like 102 by lunchtime and even at 5 o'clock, 107, 108. We have a small chance for thunderstorms today. It's not going to be enough to really cool things down just yet, but that is coming in a few days. We take a live look at Apex this morning. All's quiet. We do have a deck of low cloud cover out there this morning, but it's not really going to have an impact on our weather. Our temperatures heading out the door this morning are in the mid to upper 70s. It's your typical, warm, sticky start out there as you're walking the dog. And of course, this evening, very hot. But cooler weather is coming. I'll show you the change coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. People who attended the Trump rally in Pennsylvania are still processing what happened on Saturday. Lynn Piwowarczyk and her daughter Dee were among the thousands at the campaign rally. They were seated 8 rows behind the podium when they heard the gunshots. And this is video Dee shot of the Secret Service escorting former President Trump out of the rally. And in NBC and AP footage, Lynn can be seen in the background. Her husband saw her on TV himself and asked why she wasn't ducking down.
There were people laying where our feet go, and, we were crowded in there. So I had the gentleman next to me laying on the ground. I had the lady next to me laying on the ground. I said there was nowhere for me to lay.
Both women say they're still trying to wrap their heads around this moment in history. A federal judge has dismissed the classified documents case against Trump, but it's already being appealed. Judge Aileen Cannon said the appointment of the special counsel in the case, Jack Smith, violated the Constitution. She used an argument laid out by conservative Justice Clarence Thomas in a recent Supreme Court ruling. Smith had charged the former president of mishandling top secret documents after leaving the White House. Last night, a spokesman for the special counsel's office said the Justice Department has approved plans to appeal. Trump picked Ohio Senator J.D. Vance to be his new running mate. Vance is 18 months into his first term as U.S. Senator. He was elected in 2022. He's a military veteran who was deployed to Iraq. He went to Yale Law School, wrote a best-selling memoir, then set his sights on politics. Vance is largely aligned with Trump's political beliefs, like opposing abortion rights and aid for Ukraine. Last night, the Biden campaign blasted the nomination, releasing a statement that reads in part, Donald Trump picked J.D. Vance as his running mate because Vance will do what Mike Pence wouldn't do on January 6th, bend over backwards to enable Trump and his extreme MAGA agenda. If they win in November, Vance would be the third youngest vice president in history. He's 39.
A firefighter was taken to the hospital for heat-related injuries after fighting a fire at a building in Raleigh. This happened on Donald Ross Drive just before 6 o'clock last night. You can see the smoke and flames coming from the building. At this time, we don't know if anyone was inside the building at that time when the fire broke out. Fire crews tell us the building appears to be used for storage. The cause is still under investigation. Pro Football Hall of Famer Terrell Davis says that he was wrongfully removed from a United Airlines plane. It happened Saturday on a flight from Denver to California. Davis says he tapped a flight attendant's arm to ask for a cup of ice. He says the flight attendant shouted, "Don't hit me," in response. After the plane landed, Davis says he was taken off the plane in handcuffs by the FBI. The former Denver Broncos running back said the incident has left him feeling humiliated, embarrassed, powerless, and angry. United Airlines has since removed the flight attendant from duty while the airline reviews the incident.
Severe weather ripped through parts of Iowa last night. Take a look at the damage. Power lines were knocked down, homes were damaged, and trees were toppled. The storms also triggered several tornado warnings throughout the eastern part of the state. Thousands of people are without power right now. Officials say the outage could last through today.
4:47, the time right now, our Tuesday morning, another warm start. Hot a lot would call it. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, coming off of yesterday. I mean, who knows? It's going to be another hot one today.
Yeah,
right?
I think everybody has lots of words now for it, ridiculous, intolerable. I mean, you can really go through the list because it's just been so many days in a row. So once again, we do have a heat advisory. In effect, starts at noon and lasts until about 8 o'clock. We're looking at a small chance for thunderstorms today and tomorrow, but then we see a bigger change with our forecast. We have a cold front that'll come through and stall. We'll see much cooler, much cooler temperatures and some wetter conditions as well. But we still have to kind of power through today and tomorrow. Tomorrow will feel slightly better, but only slightly better. It's not going to be until, say, Friday that we notice a big difference. So heat advisory again, feeling like up to 110 this afternoon across our viewing area. Take a live look at downtown Raleigh here from the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. And our temperature right now 79 with a dew point 72. We're in the 90s already by 11 a.m. And you know the routine by now. Take a look as we go through the morning. I mean, it already feels a little hotter than it really is. 76 in Goldsboro, feels like 81, feels like 82 in Durham and Raleigh. But those numbers will really start to climb as we get to, say, like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. We do have cloudy skies out there, so we're lighting the tower up with purple this morning. We take a live look at our Weather Watcher photo from Austin Jernigan from Irwin. Pretty clouds out there that he snapped a photo of. We love your Weather Watcher photos. Keep them coming. Go to WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, and send us a few. We'd love to put them on TV. Around town today, 100 in Raleigh, 101 in Durham, 103 in Fayetteville. We hit 101 yesterday, so we broke the record. That 100 won't quite get it. Today's record is 101, but we'll be way too close to it. And this is a look at our heat index forecast. It'll feel like 110 this afternoon in Fayetteville, 109 in Clinton, 110 in Goldsboro, 107 in South Hill. So again, another dangerously hot day. So we're tracking that 100-degree heat. This year we've seen 9 days with 100-degree heat. The record was 12 back in 1999. We average 1 to 2 days, and here we are at 9 already. Of course, we're looking at those potential records. We are going to come close to it today. So extreme heat today and tomorrow as well. But look at that. By Friday and Saturday, we see a big dive. It's been since May 27th to June 3rd, since we had 4 days in a row below 90 degrees, and that is where we're headed. So you can see the orange color contours. That's where temperatures are above normal. And as we move our map through time, you can see the blue color contours taking over for a huge chunk of the country. And we'll be able to feel that. 91 is our normal high. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, our highs are back into the 80s. We have rain that goes along with it. Following this front, this has been producing some severe storms across parts of the Midwest. That rolls in here and helps to bring us much cooler air. In the meantime, today, just a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. We're not going to see a lot of rain for today, but that chance definitely goes up. Starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll show you how much rain we'll see and how long we could see this nice streak of cooler air.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
A teenager is making aviation history in North Carolina, known as the first in flight state. What he accomplished that no one in state history has.
Plus, the never-ending story is flying back to a screen near you when you can watch the movie in theaters and celebrate its 40th anniversary.
Welcome back. Prime Day kicks off today, and if you're planning to be online hunting for those deep discounts on Amazon, watch out for scams. 5 on your side's Kelly Arthur shows us the pitfalls to watch out for while you shop and afterwards.
A matrix of robots weave through one another, delivering purchased products to warehouse workers who package, sort, and ship.
So now they're delivering them to our customers.
That's how your same-day delivery Amazon package gets made at this Durham warehouse. And on Prime Day, things will get even busier.
We deliver for our customers about the same amount of packages when it comes to Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then the week leading up to Christmas.
It's also Christmas in July for scammers, because it's not just Amazon. Walmart just did their deals. Target had Circle Week, and other retailers are putting on their best sales to compete.
Whenever there's a time of the year when there are a lot of sales, We always recommend that people do their research.
The Better Business Bureau is warning people to be on high alert right now. If you're buying from Amazon, look into the actual seller of the product and save any information that you can. If you get that sketchy text that your package is stuck in the warehouse and you need to click a link to update your info, don't.
The fake package delivery scams, like that happens all the time still. Like you get them, I get them. And that's something to look out for after the sales are over too.
Remember, social media ads aren't always trustworthy, and beware of lookalike websites.
At first glance, it might look like the real thing, but once you take a second and dig a little deeper, the links on the webpage don't work like they should. The URL looks fishy, or it's like a weird combination of numbers and letters.
Again, do not click on any links that are in unsolicited messages. And if you want to make a purchase, you can do it, but try to pay with a credit card. That's going to offer you way more protections than a debit card or payment app will. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
A North Carolina teenager has made aviation history. Concord native Ryan Garner is a 17-year-old pilot, the youngest black person ever to earn his private license in the state. Garner took lessons at a small airport in Indian Trail. At first, his sights were set on being a ground crew member that would bring planes in. After talking to a Delta pilot, he decided to pursue flight school. The city of Concord recognized Garner's achievements last week, presenting him with an official proclamation.
The Never Ending Story will have its 40th anniversary this year, and to celebrate, it's returning to theaters to mark the occasion. The classic fantasy film is about a kid who escapes into a book, which leads to an adventure to save a land called Fantasia. The movie was released in 1984. It will be re-released in theaters July 21st and 22nd. There are several theaters here in the Triangle who will be showing it next week.
That done with a lot of different movies. We have breaking news this morning. A stabbing and a shooting in Durham. That investigation shut down part of a road for hours this morning.
And all eyes will be on Milwaukee again today as day 2 of the Republican National Convention is set to get underway in a few hours. We'll tell you who is expected to speak today.